Y'all, I got a question. And I was wondering if this makes sense, or if y'all thought this made sense, or maybe it ain't made sense because ain't nobody thought about it to make no sense of it. Okay, so we're talking about my favorite place in the world, the Dollar Tree. Dollar plus. Plus plus. Because they went up 2 times, so dollar plus plus. That fits the scenario. I was just wondering if anybody thought about this. If the Dollar Tree sell vitamins, because I stopped because I needed some magnesium, and I looked at some other prices or whatever. And you know how they have Nature's Way, and they have this and that. Buy one magnesium for $20 and get the other one for half off, or buy magnesium for $15 and this and that and that and that. Where you can spend $20 or $30, $40 on pills. Well, when I talked to my doctor, when he told me, that I needed calcium or I needed this and that, when I asked him, was it okay if I buy from the Dollar Tree, if I buy the potassium from the Dollar Tree, he said potassium is potassium for $1.25. So I wanted some magnesium, so I stopped to get magnesium because magnesium is for nervous system and heart health, and magnesium also works with involuntary movements, like your eyes, if they start twitching or blinking out of nowhere, without your permission, then a lot of times you're low on magnesium. I'm not a doctor, I'm a shade tree doctor. And so I was wondering, like, does it make sense to spend $20 on one bottle and get the other one halfway off, or does it make sense to just go to the Dollar Tree and get magnesium because magnesium is magnesium? Now, let me say this, being a shade tree doctor, let me say this. I know that there are different grades of pills, potassium, magnesium, calcium. There's different grades of pills. There's pills that come with buffers, and there's pills that come with no buffers. Being in the inherently born into the medicine business, I know this. But from a standpoint, and then you get 200 capsules and this and that, I understand that. But from a standpoint of regular people like me and you that just want to take something every blue moon, to say we got it in there, because we know the more we age that a lot of times we lose these things, and you could get some of these things through food, but some things you can't get through food. So if basic people like me and you need magnesium, and my doctor says magnesium is magnesium regardless of where it comes from, or my doctor says potassium is potassium regardless of where it comes from, does it make sense to buy the Nature's Way or Nature's Made $20 bottle and get the second bottle half off $30 when you can get magnesium for $1.25, or potassium or vitamin D? I was just wondering if it made sense. Like I said, nobody probably thought about it. Like a lot of my pills, like I get them and I just put them in the cabinet. Like I said, once or twice a year, I take a couple of, to make sure, I ain't needing nothing. And then when I go to my doctor, if they say I'm low on something, then they can write me something. But I don't just take pills, but I mean just to have them. But I'm just saying, I didn't know if it made sense. Now, a lot of people are hung up on name brand, not understanding that name brand is the same thing as the same off brand. The main ingredient is the main ingredient regardless of. Now, like I said, buffers and no fillers, and fillers and no buffers, and adjectives and this and that. Some, there's different type of irons. Some people take iron and make them constipated. Then you have to get an iron without a buffer or whatever, so they won't be you get me. Being a shade tree doctor is rough. I've been this way all my life. But I'm just saying, for basic people like me and you, do it make sense to go out and spend all this money on these vitamins when you could stop at the Dollar Tree and get it for $1.25? Now, you might have to buy a couple of them because this one only comes with like 12 tablets, and they, those have the ones for like, 200 tablets and this and that to keep you for a while. But basic people like me and you that don't even take stuff all the time, but we kind of know how our body reacts and when we need something, Does that make sense? I was just wondering. It might and it might not, but it makes sense to me.